some big
All right. Thank you all for coming. Lovely. Guys, if you want to sit down, thank you so much for the introduction and welcome. My name is Winston, as Shanice has just introduced me. Right, life. Being successful in life. Well, to be successful in life, you need to get yourself ahead of the game. Now, that's like a constant thing. So if you want to be a boxer, I actually saw a professional boxer walking this estate earlier, and he's out jogging. And it's like, if you want to be a professional boxer, you need to be up at 5 o'clock in the morning doing your runs, because your opponent, he could be sleeping or he could be training. So you need to make sure you're ahead of the game. If you want to be a scientist or a doctor, you need to get your exam results. So you need to be studying while your other friends might be outside, you know, the partying or whatever. If you want to be a businessman, you need to study trends, you need to study the markets, you need to understand what's going on in business. So that your competitors, they may be out playing golf or doing some madness, whatever they're doing, but you need to be on your business and ahead of the game. So you need to keep yourself ahead of the game at all times, and that's the idea. I'm a big reader, so I like to read a lot, okay? And in life, if you keep reading and educating yourselves, you'll be able to develop your mindset. So this is a book that I read a few years ago called Dale Carnegie, okay? Right, and it's How to Win Friends and Influence People. I read this book and this helped me develop my mindset about how I can work with people, understand people, help to motivate people, and to develop my own ability when speaking to people. So this book here, right, this is all about seizing opportunity. So is there any in the room that was ready to take the opportunity today to develop their lives? Is there anyone here that was ready to take the opportunity to develop their lives? I don't know, is there anyone there? Is there anyone there? Right, there we are. Can we give her a round of applause? Yeah? Because this is what it's about. This is what it's about. Now, this is true. This is true, because at the end of the day, you've got to get ahead of the game. Really, it is. It's all the young people that are here, some of the older people that are here. We're all ahead of the game just by being here. And this young lady here, she's even ahead of the game even more than everyone else. So why she's taking the opportunity that was there. So like I said, all you now, you're ahead of the game, we're all ahead of the game. All we've got to do is keep ourselves there. So Shanice asked me to speak about entrepreneurship and what it means to be an entrepreneur. Now serious, do any of you know what being an entrepreneur is? Okay, well in the Oxford Dictionary it defines an entrepreneur as anybody that sets up a business or businesses with financial risk with the hope of making a profit. Okay, so that is what they define an entrepreneur as. So I'm going to tell you a job now, okay? Right, so this job, you wake up at 7 o'clock in the morning. If you wake up at 7 in the morning, you start this job at 7 o'clock. You don't get no lunch break. You might not get a holiday for a year, 2, 3 years. You might work so hard that your friends think you don't like them anymore because you never see them. Your partners, they think that you're cheating. And at the end of a year or 2 years, you might not get any money. Does anyone want that job?
Yes.
Oh, you want that job?
I already have it.
But there we are. Anyone else want a job like that? What's that? Pardon? The mother job? I suppose, yeah, thankless task, that's right, yeah. Okay, well listen, that's one job. There's another job where you wake up in the morning and you start work when you feel like starting work. At lunchtime, 12, 1 o'clock, you have your lunch break. But your lunch break might go on until 5, 6 o'clock, whenever you feel like having your lunch break. You get to go on holiday 4 or 5 times a year. You get 2 weeks at Christmas in the Caribbean. You get a 6-figure salary, so that means you earn over £100,000 or more. And at the end of the year, if your business does really well, you can get a lovely bonus. Who likes that job? Anyone like that job? Yeah, like that job? Like that job? I like that job. Okay, basically, both of those jobs are jobs that entrepreneurs have. Okay? And so you've got job A, which is the first one, and you've got job B, which is the second one. Now, those jobs, they actually are owned and have been held by the same person. So the same person could have job A and job B, but at different times in their lives. So at the start of their lives, in the start of their career, they might have started the first business or second business, and they've got job A. And they've got to work hard, tirelessly, not having holidays, not getting lunch breaks, just putting it in. But as further along in their careers, they get to job B. And what I want to talk about today a little bit is about transferable skills, and the skills which take someone from job A to job B. In order to get from job A to job B, that person has developed themselves and they've learned a lot of experience and they've developed their skill set. So they've learned about how to build a product or service, where to sell it, what price to sell it for, how to promote it. I was talking about earlier, I forgot her name, I was talking about earlier, he was talking about promoting a product. You need to learn, sorry? Sasha. We need to learn all these things as part of selling our products. We also need to learn to motivate people and inspire people and get people going. This is like an important thing about developing your business. And at the end of all of that, you can put systems and processes in place which enable you to lead your business without having to be there. So that guy that is waking up and working whenever he feels like it and going on holidays and still getting paid because he's set up a business system. He owns his system. He doesn't just work in his business. So we're going to speak about that, and I'm going to share some of my experiences and some of my story, as it were, to talk about these skills. Just a brief summary, a little bit about me. I was one of 3 children, single parent family. By the age of 13, 14, I was smoking weed. By about 15, 16, I was selling weed and hash and skunk. And basically, I got involved in crime, and I continued to be involved in crime from that age. And I got more and more involved in crime. And that continued until I was about 25 years old, when eventually I was arrested, charged, convicted for intent to supply 30 odd kilos of skunk. And I was sentenced to a 3-year prison sentence. So that's what happened to me then. But the thing about it is that you have to sit there when you've made mistakes and you've got things wrong and say to yourself, what is it all about? I was locked up with guys that were convicted of ABH, GBH, cocaine smuggling. There was a guy that was charged with treble murder. So this big white guy, he's got tattoos all down him, and I was sleeping on the top bunk, and this guy's down there. And first few weeks, I had one eye open every night. Like, I just was not thinking, I'm not going to be number 4, mate. Every time he moved, I was thinking, nah, it's not happening. So that was part of my journey of doing that. But I said to myself when I was in prison, I said, what's this all about? What am I here for? Why am I in prison? I'm not a decent guy, really. I've done some things that are not supposed to be good, but I'm not a bad person. What am I here for? And I basically, after nearly a year of being there, I started thinking to myself, do you know what? I'm here to learn lessons and understand myself more, understand that, do you know what is life really about? So from my experience of being in prison, I started thinking, what's really important to me? And now fast forward nearly 7 years, I got married, I've got 3 young sons, and I've set up a business doing mechanical services. So basically, we install plumbing, heating, gas, ventilation in hotels, schools, large houses in Kensington, Chelsea, all of that. We have like 20 members of staff, project managers, engineers, office staff, and we're just developing that business. Also, as well as me doing my business, I've also, the last couple of years, gone back to something that I really used to enjoy when I was younger, and that was acting. So 2 years ago, I started going to classes. Last year, I appeared in an episode of Game of Thrones. I don't know if any of you heard of that, but I appeared in Game of Thrones. And I just did a comedy film with Kojo a few months ago. His film's out this year. So I've been able to now see some goodness in what come out of a bad situation. So in terms of transferable skills, which I had either learnt before prison or during prison, and I've implemented since I got out, I'll just tell you a few of them. I need water. So The first skill that I learned when I was in prison, well not even from when I was in prison, before I was in prison, was what you spoke about earlier, Shanice, visualization. So I used to sit there all the time before prison, daydream about, you know, what car I was going to have, what watch I was going to have, what clothes I was going to wear, where I was going to go. But I didn't understand what I was doing. I was just doing it. There was one time when I dropped off a load of money. And on the way back from dropping this off, me and the guy that I was with, we went to a Ferrari showroom, like we were talking about Lamborghini. I went to a Ferrari showroom and I sat there and I was like, you know what? I said to the guy, can I, you know, sit in this car thinking I might want to buy it, I want to have a look at it. And I don't know what he was thinking, but I sat there and said to my friend, I said, you know what, if we didn't take that money down the road, we could have bought one of these. And we sat there just daydreaming while we were sitting in this car. But it's the same principle about what you were talking about thinking about, you know, what the possibilities are. Little did we know, while we were sitting in that Ferrari, where I just left, there was people kicking the door in and actually stealing all the money that was there anyway. But again, that's part of that lifestyle. So that visualization was really quite powerful then, which was driving me towards trying to get more money, more things, more money, more things. And then when I was in prison, I decided that I wanted more out of life, and there's things that were more important to me. I wrote a list of all the things that I wanted from life, and there was like a list of like 15, 16 things. If any of you connect me on Twitter, I've got it on there. And basically, all these 15, 16 things, none of them cost money. So I had like on there, I think it was a house, and I think I wanted an office, but the rest of them for free. So I wanted to give talks, I wanted to inspire people, I wanted to get married, I wanted to meet my wife, I wanted my children to be healthy and happy. I wanted to go out there and give back to what I could do. So my life had changed and my thinking had changed. And so when I was doing that visualization and I was thinking about the woman that I wanted to marry, and I used to lie there myself thinking, oh yeah, one day it's going to happen, and I'll think about what she looks like and think about my children. And then one day I was on day release and I was allowed out. So you get let out, like as you're about to be released, you get out for a day or 2 days at a time just to get you back into society. And the last ever day release I had, I went to a friend's party and I stood there and this girl walked in and I was like, I think that's her. Like, it was mad. And I stood there and after like, I don't know, 15, 20 minutes, this girl ended up coming up to me and I was thinking, yeah, like, this is it. Like, this stuff's working, it's powerful. Anyway, she turned out she was trying to talk to me, chat to me for a friend. Said that a friend likes me and, you know, what am I saying? And I was like, nah. It's not supposed to work. I like you. And, you know, what you saying? And she was, I didn't want to do it, but I was saying to her, look, do you know what? I'm going back to prison in the morning, but it's cool, it's all right. I'm getting released the week after, okay? I really like you, so please bear with me. Anyway, 7 years later, something must have been right. So, so that was the power of visualization and how you can go from having a negative use of it to a positive use of it. The next transferable skill, which is directly related to the life I used to lead, to the business that I'm now running, was my ability to network. Okay, I said these young lads are here, and I can't remember your name. Ibrahim. They experienced it firsthand earlier. When I didn't think we had enough of the community here, I was out there collaring them, saying to them, you need to come to this event. And you know, you took the opportunity to be here. So you've allowed yourself to now go to another level. You allowed yourself to see and experience more opportunities. And the same with the guys over there. You know, so my ability to network has been something that stayed from me from previously to now. So like, if I was to get a phone call from, you know, the guy that I was getting my stuff from, and he'd ring me and be like, yeah, Win, look, I've got another 10, 15, whatever it is, kilos or whatnot, I need you to move them for me, can you help me out please? And I'll sit there and think, right, okay, what have I got to do? So I'll be going through my phone book, thinking all the people I could ring, and then I'll get out and about and I'll go and see people and I'll have meetings and I'll try and find some way to place the product that they were trying to put in front of me. Because I was just thinking money. I'm thinking, well, if I can move it, if you've got extra to move and I can move it, that's profit for me. So I used to do that. And then when I got out of prison, and I said to people, oh, I'm a plumber now. I'm gonna get a plumbing and heating company. That's what I'm gonna do. People used to laugh at me. Like, what are you talking about? Why you got a front? Listen, it's a good front, but you know, really, what are you doing? I was like, no, I'm gonna start a plumbing and heating company. And what I did is, there's two things I did. Firstly, I went through all my phone book. Again, I found all the numbers I used to have, not the criminals really, but all the normal people I had. And I used to ring them up and say, look, I'm running the plumbing company. If there's any work that you can get me, anyone you could put me into, I really want to build my company up. So that was one way. I didn't get any business from that way. Then the other way was the same way that Sasha did. I actually went into like 50, 60 estate agents in and around London. And I just walked in, had my toolbox, I said, hi, my name's Winston, I've got a plumbing company, just in the area doing some work, would love to offer our service to you. You know, I used to tell these people we've got 4 or 5 vans out on the road and there's, you know, 20 people working or 12 people, whatever it was. And I got out of like 50, 60 estate agents, I think I got 3 jobs. And from them 3 jobs, like I got extra jobs coming in, and all of a sudden, one guy out of that phone list that I'd rang me, and he was actually a serving prisoner who was a carpenter on a building site. And he rang and said, oh look, the plumbers, they've let this company down, they need someone in there, can you come and do it? And I said, yeah, give me his number. So I rang this guy, he was in the West End, not a big job, but it was a job. I didn't really know that much what I was doing. I'd been out of prison a year, but I just wanted to give it a go. And yeah, I took that job on. Nowadays, that job would have been a £30,000–40,000 job, but I did it for about £10,000 or £11,000 just because I wanted to be seen to be doing this work. I got the job. Then again, I went through my phone list again, ringing them up again. This time, listen, I got a job in the West End. I'm doing refurb on this big penthouse. You know, I'm looking for more work. And then out of the whole list again, I then got one person that called me back and said, do you know what, listen, I've got something else. And then basically from there, step by step, I developed my business. And then from then, it's grown on to one thing to the other to where we are today. So that was how I used my network and my ability to network, which I had already before, and just transferred it from being an illegal use of it to a legal use of it. The last thing that I did was discipline. Before I went to prison, I didn't have much discipline. I used to be a bit too cocky. I used to be like, don't worry, life could have presented itself to me, and it don't matter what anyone else says, I'm gonna be all right. So I broke the laws and broke the rules and just did what I wanted. But the thing about it, as soon as I went to prison, I quickly realised it doesn't run like that in life, you know. And that was the first time I was confronted with there was no alternatives. There's no other solutions. You know, I can't go out and go off whenever I feel like it and do what I want. I'm stuck there. And there was this one prison officer who, I don't know what it was, he had a thing for me. He didn't like me for whatever. And he was on my case and he'd be like, Taylor, come here, come and clean this cell. Taylor, come and move this rubbish. Taylor. And he'd be on my case and he would just be on me day by day. And like there were certain times he would make racial jokes. And then like he would make a joke and then he would laugh about it. And I'll stand there and be like, and he goes, yeah, no, but you're all right. And I'm like, everything in me wanted to attack the guy. Everything in me, I used to sometimes think to myself, oh, I could just get him. I forgot on the way to the canteen, I could get him. Or in the toilets when he's not looking, I thought, no. I was thinking, I was in a maximum security prison. I needed to get to an open prison as quickly as I could to take the course that I wanted to do, which has led me to do what I'm doing now. So I had to suck it up and say, do you know what? This is one thing I can't get around. This guy is going to beat me down. But by the time I get to the open prison, he's still going to be locked up in maximum security. So that's what kept me strong. That's what kept me thinking. So that discipline I developed while I was in prison, I then used when I got out. You know, I started labouring as a plumber's apprentice. I offered to work for free. Similar thing as what we were talking about earlier about the guy for 6 months. I said to him, look, I work for free. You know, I was like 60.5 stone, just lots of potato and weights all day, you know. And I said to him, look, can I just get a job? I don't care what I do. And I went to this site and I knew some of the guys there, but there was a foreman and he had something against me, or listen, maybe I'm being whatever, but maybe he didn't have something against me, maybe that's the way he was. But he would be ringing me like, Winston, quickly come down here, we need to move these boilers. Winston, can you tidy up this rubbish? 15 minutes later, Winston, I need you to go get these fittings. And I was like, wow. But again, I'm sucking it up. And some of the guys that knew me and knew me from before were like, Winston, why the hell are you taking this from this guy? I'm like, I've got to do this. In my head, I'm like, I need this job. We've got one of the biggest, fastest growing technology centres in the world. The East End of London is becoming like a populace of technology hubs. We have traders, stock markets. We've got so many opportunities right on our doorsteps. Everyone is talking about the use of the internet. 87% of our whole country uses the internet. You've got the internet at your fingertips. You can start a business up like that today. We haven't got to worry about, being outside, stand on the street corners. This is 2016. You could just stand your phone and start selling from eBay. You know what? Look, no, it's real talk. Whoever has started this company is a multi-millionaire. The person selling the juice. The person selling the cartons is even richer. Yeah? The person who made this clipboard, yeah? He's a multi-millionaire. There is money all around you. There's opportunities all around you if you're willing to take that time to investigate it, develop your skill set, develop your experience, and grow as a person, grow as an individual. So for me, the next time someone says to me, bruv, why don't you get back on the road? Or the next time someone tries to convince you to get onto the road, all you gotta say to them is this: it's cool, bruv. All I'm trying to do is get from A to B. So thank you very much, everyone. My name is Winston Davis. I'm on Twitter. I am Winston T. And Winston Davis 1 on Instagram, if anyone you will connect. So thank you very much.
Wasn't that awesome? There was so much that I learned from that, and what I want to put up here is visualization.